GTA Online has officially sunk to a new low, and I honestly can't believe I'm saying this, but Rockstar has somehow found a way to ruin one of the best money-making weeks we've had in GTA Online in ages. We've got 2 times money on hangar sales right now, of course, that's the big news for the week, and so if you're a GTA Plus player, that's 4 times money, stacked on top of the permanent 3 times buff from the LS Drug Wars update from 2.5 years ago as well, mind you. That should mean huge profits, like over $15 million if you sell a full hangar of high-value cargo. Now, this should have been a dream money-making week, right? But instead, Rockstar has capped it at an extremely low amount. And I don't mean a minor cap that you'd never notice. I mean a very hard ceiling that literally blocks players from earning what they should be earning by a factor of several $million. We've seen this before with the Acid Lab. Rockstar capped it during the triple money week back in 2023 for the Acid Lab, and players couldn't earn the full bonus because the payout limit kicked in early. Now they've done it again with the hangar business, and honestly, it's worse than ever. Not only is there a payout cap that stops you from hitting the full amount, but Rockstar also capped the high demand bonus this week for the hangar at just 5 players in a public session. That's it. Doesn't matter if there's 10, 15, or even 30 players in your session, you will only get the high demand bonus as if there were 5. They took a bonus that rewards risk and completely neutered it. Now, that being said, let's break down exactly what's going on here. Back during the LS Drug Wars update, Rockstar permanently buffed the hangar sales by 3 times across the board. That means every crate you sell nowadays is already tripled in value compared to what it was originally when the business released or even before the buff. Now, the reason I'm bringing that part up is because that already got us 3 times closer to hitting their artificial cap. And that's already pre-factored into your sale missions now, and when Rockstar buffed the business, they never adjusted the cap to reflect that permanent game change. And so this week's bonus on top of that is 2 times money for all players for hangar sales, which effectively makes it a 6 times payout compared to original values, right? But for GTA Plus players, that stacks even further. They've already been getting double money on hangar sales all month long, so with the weekly event bonus stacked, they're getting 4 times on top of the 3 times base. That brings the total multiplier up to 12 times what these crates used to be worth from original values. And so when you factor in high value cargo sales like for narcotics, chemicals, or medical supplies, all of which already give a 70% cargo type bonus, and you sell all those 50 crates at once, your payout is going to be over $15 million. Except you're not getting that. Why? Because Rockstar capped the payout. Again. The payout cap for hangar sales was $11,200,000 for players originally. That was the hard ceiling on what you could earn from any hangar sale mission, no matter how many bonuses are stacked. And for GTA Plus players this week, even though the math technically adds up to over $15 million with all the bonuses included, Rockstar quietly increased the cap to $11,811,000 to account for that 3 times base bonus, and they did that during the Chop Shop update. Now, funny enough, why did they do it a full year later after already permanently tripling the payouts? I don't know why it took them a year, but still, once they did it, they didn't go far enough to match what would be this 4 times event stacked on top of what it is for this week only. That means that you're going to be hitting this ceiling before you reach your full potential earnings. And it gets worse here. To make things more accessible, and that's likely Rockstar's excuse, they've also capped that high demand bonus like I was saying, so normally if you sell in a public session, you get 2.5% extra cash per player in the session up to 20 players in total for a max bonus of, the quote-unquote high demand bonus of 50%. This rewards players who take a bigger risk with their sale, but for this event, Rockstar limited that bonus to 5 players like we were talking about, so that's a second cap here. Even if you're in a full 30-player lobby, the high demand bonus stops calculating after 5 players, meaning you're only getting a 12.5% bonus instead of the full 50%. So for context here, with the cap in mind, the full hangar sale calculation at 4 times money for GTA Plus players, including the 70% cargo type bonus and the 12.5% high demand bonus, comes out to $11,445,000, and that's after deducting Ron's $30,000 cut. So yeah, not only are you not hitting that $15 million that you should be earning, you're barely scraping by at just over $11 million, even under max effort conditions. And of course, it sounds hyperbolic for me to be saying you're barely scraping by at over $11 million, but does anyone want to sacrifice $4 million when they put in the effort to make $15 million? This isn't just a one-time thing either. We've seen Rockstar do this before. That Acid Lab sale event a couple years ago, let's just revisit that real fast. Players had 3 times money on the product, a 5% naming bonus for their product, and they were selling in public lobbies for that full 50% high demand bonus as well. And they still lost money because the payout cap was too low to account for those bonuses. Rockstar adjusted the caps later, but they didn't give them enough breathing room for future bonuses stacking. And so we're just in the same position again. Same situation, same result. So instead of this being a huge week where players, especially GTA Plus members, could finally earn massive payouts for grinding a business that's already underutilized, I would say, we're once again dealing with Rockstar putting up invisible walls that punish the most efficient and engaged players. It's hard to not feel like they're being deliberately negligent or like evil in limiting our ability to make money in this game, even when the bonuses are right there active in the game. The bonuses and money making potential this week in GTA Online is insane, right? It's one of the best weeks in a while, that's 100% true. But what's also true is that they're capping players. They're limiting their earnings, and that's ruining what should be one of the best money-making weeks in the game's history. That's also 100% true, and it can be at the same time. It's not incoherent to say both of those things in the same sentence, and that's why everyone should be fired up over it. And here's where things get more frustrating for me, particularly. It's not just the fact that this cap is like once again something players are hitting, but let's just compare the hanger cap to other payout caps in the game with the screenshot. It just doesn't make sense. Take a look at Special Cargo. That cap is set at a whopping $96 million, or Cayo Perico, for example, which is capped at $40 million. To even reach those caps, you need to be stacking bonuses that are like 30 to 40 times over normal payout values. That's something Rockstar will literally never do, so we never have to worry about reaching that cap and like wasting money on that activity. Those caps are set so absurdly high that no normal gameplay could ever touch them. And so that's fine, right? That's kind of how it should be. It gives players breathing room to fully benefit from whatever limited time bonuses are happening without getting screwed by an invisible ceiling. But then let's take a look at Hanger, capped at, on the list it says 11.2 million, but now it's technically $11.8 million. And that's going to give you barely any room above the default 3 times buff it already has once you factor in that 4 times weekly bonus with GTA Plus, as well as the weekly update, which is giving 2 times as well. You're just going to be instantly hitting that wall, and that's what is happening to players this week. It's like Rockstar wants to advertise big bonuses, but they quietly cap the payouts so the reward never fully lands. Why not just raise all these caps to something like 15 times the base payout, right? Rockstar's never going to offer anything more than a 3 or 4 times money bonus just by default for a weekly update anyway, so that gives players room to stack the GTA Plus bonuses, along with weekly update bonuses and the high demand multipliers for public sessions, all without hitting a cap that we didn't even know was there, right? The fact that hanger payouts are treated with tighter restrictions than the most lucrative heists and CEO businesses just shows how little consistency or care there is in how these systems are designed. At the end of the day, the actual cap number isn't my concern. It's not like, there should be a cap at 15 times or 25 times or 35 times or whatever it is. The number of times the cap should be doesn't matter. It's how there's a massive discrepancy between one business and another. One business has a cap that's 40 times the base payout of that activity. You're never going to hit that, right? And another isn't even 3 times, like the Acid Lab, for example. None of that's consistent, and because of that, none of that is logical either. I want to get y'all's opinion on something else too, because I did my sale mission, of the 50 crates for the money guide yesterday, which, by the way, yes, a bunch of people were pointing out in the comments. It was absolutely hilarious when I was reading them, and I'm like, they're so right. I don't know how I just didn't notice this when I was recording, but I was talking about the payout cap just as like a disclaimer. I said, I'd be making a separate video going into more detail discussing it. That's what this video has been about. But yesterday, when I was selling all my crates, instead of me selling 25 narcotics and 25 chemicals separately for sale missions to get the 35% bonus on each cargo type, I just sold them all, and that's because I was so flustered from rambling about the actual payout cap, because I just couldn't believe we once again ran into this issue, especially during such a good money-making week. But one of the things I wanted to discuss with you guys just real quick is, so yes, usually I go for like narcotics and chemicals, but I think this time I'm actually gonna try medical supplies and chemicals. That way, with the medical supplies, I feel like it would be easier to spot from the air because it's red and white, higher contrast. Like this crate, when it's flashing, when you have to pick it up, it seems like it's easier to spot. I struggle finding the narcotics sometimes. The chemicals I can definitely find easier, even for the Streamer 216 mission, no matter which one it is. The medical supplies I feel like will definitely be easy to spot from the air because of the red flashing box with the white and everything. Nice contrast. So we're gonna source through land. Hopefully I can get a good mission. I also should have called out my Akula, or you know what, I guess for the sake of this mission I'm gonna call out my Raiju, because we have to go all the way to La Mesa and it's gonna spawn it decently far away. Truthfully, I would have been better off just going inside of my hangar and getting it, but nonetheless, we're doing it the bot way, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just starting my grind for the day, so I'm gonna do this and then I'm gonna be live over on Twitch as well. We're gonna be farming more hangar cargo, and I'm probably gonna source through Rooster, honestly, for the rest of this week. And some other players and viewers were pointing out some good things in the comments with Rooster, because like, I normally don't bother with manual cargo sourcing with CEO cargo anymore, especially I just use the Lupe tech as well as the other technicians for the other subsequent warehouses. And then same thing for the hangar. I'll usually just source through Rooster now that we have that option. But when it comes to me preparing the hangar for this week, because I knew eventually we would be getting another hangar bonus, like it was just a year and a half, like we were owed for it, and I wouldn't have minded just sitting on my hangar until that point. I wanted to make sure I had 25 narcotics, 25 chemicals. But I think for the rest of this week now that I've already sold it, I may just start sourcing through Rooster again. And what I was trying to get at here was some players said that not only just is sourcing through Rooster just a viable strategy in general, because he's going to be giving you 2 crates this week. Obviously, that's just the reason I would be doing it. That way, you know, if I were to just not source cargo manually and not make money with the business at all, I could source through Rooster, and yeah, am I going to get the optimal crates? No, most likely not, unless I get super blessed with RNG, but at least I can make money with the business when I otherwise wouldn't be at all, right? But the real reason I want to try this was you could source through Rooster till you get about, you know, the 34, 36, 35 crate stock option, and then what you could do is just top up the crates you need for other crate types, and you could just finish off the business that way to still maybe take advantage of a bonus. I feel like that could be a very decent strategy right there as well. I haven't tested it. Maybe I should later today on stream, things like that. But if you guys have, let me know in the comments. I also didn't think for me using the Raiju for this mission. Oh, you know what? I should have went to the other side. Oh, the generator's over here. I forgot about that. This confuses me every single time. Oh, crap. Oh, the train did it. I thought it blew up my Raiju. Okay, the generator. Wait. No, the generator's not. It's on the other. Oh my god, I'm just like big goofing right now. The generator's right here. I don't know, I always forget which side it's on, and that constantly messes me up in the mission. But here we go. Let's collect the medical supplies. This is a pretty easy source mission as well. There's like realistically no gunfight that you're gonna encounter or anything like that. Honestly, I'm usually just grinding on the Oppressor Mark II anyway, or my Sparrow. What vehicle do you guys prefer? People say to use the Raiju. I don't know, man. I honestly, going into VTOL mode and stuff like that, like I'd rather just kind of use my Oppressor. I can get in and out. Sure, the top speed isn't as fast as the jet, so I can travel long distances faster in the Raiju, but I feel like I'm just more efficient in general using the Oppressor, because I could swoop down and grab a crate, or like land instantly for that mission, because you have to get out of your vehicle anyway. I don't know, man. Some Raiju. Oh man, this thing is like totally messed up from the train hitting it. Look at the nose of the plane. It's all messed up. Aerodynamics are all super screwed on this plane. Some players obviously swear by the Raiju being like the best hangar grinding vehicle, but honestly, even just after using it just for this one particular mission, I think I still prefer the Oppressor. Yeah, am I going faster in the Raiju? 100%. But I also could have completed that part of the source mission way easier and way faster, because I would have noticed the generator was on the other side. I would have just been flying around, blown it up right away, been on my way. Or, you know, when you have the Streamer 216 mission at Sandy Shores, I could just simply swoop in, take the cargo, and leave. Or even, whoa, even on the mission, for example, whoops, pull out my VTOL, pull out my VTOL, what's going on? Oh god, okay. Even on the mission, say for example with the, is this jet dead or not? I can't even tell. Say for example, even with the Avisa submission at Paleto Bay, or at the Alamo Sea, or at El Burro Heights, which is sort of where we were just north of that location. Those Avisa submissions, since I particularly grind them because I don't want to just leave sessions and grind a different cargo. I'll just get the mission done. It takes me a couple extra minutes from normal cargo grinding. But when I do those, I basically land on the barge with the Oppressor. I hop off, then obviously I kill everyone, flip the switch to drop the cargo, get in the sub, drive it over there, then I blow up the truck. And then I spawn the Oppressor, and I just fly back. And I can do that because I don't encounter a cooldown or anything. On a Raiju, it's gonna like spawn somewhere else. It's just like a little bit more frustrating, right? So I could see why if you're a Raiju maxer, you particularly hate the submission because you have to ditch your entire plane, whereas like the Oppressor, I could still spawn it on top of me. Same with the Sparrow. So just some questions I wanted to ask you guys, because of course I can improve my gameplay grind and my loop and things like that, and I also give recommendations and things like that. You know, ultimately you got to do what you got to do in GTA depending on the type of player you are. If you don't like grinding crates manually, source through Rooster. If you do like that, well then just source manually. No big deal. You have to adapt to your play style and your grind. You know, if you only have a small amount of time to play the game, then maybe grinding crates manually may not be the best use of your time, even with the insane money bonuses. Maybe Rooster will just be the way to go. Things like that. So I just wanted to ask you guys those questions in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching. Drop a like if you guys enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Check me out over on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram. I live stream GTA Online several times a week. Would be super excited to speak to you live over on there. That's where I get my interactivity. Of course, I read every single comment. I can only respond to so many. Otherwise, I would spend my entire day responding to comments. But on live stream, you will get immediate responses from me because I'm interacting with the chat over on there. So have a fantastic day. I'll see you guys in the next one. Adios, amigos.